Custom fields are a way for you to add extra data or collect extra data from your users when they're filling out a purchase request form. It's really useful to be able to do that. It's a very good time to ask your users questions when they're requesting to spend money because they're willing to do it, because they're going to get something in return. So with a custom field, you can add custom fields to either the purchase order level or the line item level. And they're going to give you a way to drill down into your data further, because they're going to show up in every report going forward as a separate column in those reports. So therefore, you can then drill down based on those things. So let's add a couple to show you. I have a particularly blank and vanilla version of an account within Procurement Express here, and it's got no custom fields attached to it at all. So common custom fields might be something like a payment method, maybe a job number. If you were a construction company, then maybe you would have a job number, and that's very common to have. Let's add a payment method field. So what we do is we click add a custom field there, and we can do that because we're logged in as an admin. Regular users wouldn't normally see that. And we can add payment method as a field. Let's do that. Let's make that a drop down list, and we'll do that, and we'll add that in as a drop down list, and we'll say cash, let's say check, credit card, and maybe EFT, electronic transfer. And let's put that in there and then save it. What we can do is we can make it active, we can make it a required field so that people have to fill it out. We can make it display on the actual purchase order that gets generated, or not, because it may be internal data only. And we can also allow users to edit it after approval. Now I'll show that in a minute. Editing after approval is very useful for things like tracking numbers. It's impossible to get a tracking number until you've made the order. So you have to get approval on the order first before you get the tracking number. So if you want, what you can do is you can make the custom field editable after approval, and that means that after the approval is done, it's allowed to be edited, and the user can then fill it in if it's something like a tracking number. Okay, so here we see our payment method custom field. You see it says cash, check, credit card. It's like a drop down, so it's like a form builder in some ways. We can choose credit card, and like I said, that's going to be available in all of our reports going forward, so we'll now be able to drill down based on the credit card. Now we can also add fields to the line items as well. Now line items are important. It's important to be able to add fields there because we might want to differentiate between different line items. I mean, certainly we can add line items with different budgets associated with them, so why not custom fields as well? So let's add a custom field. Let's add that tracking number field. We're going to say tracking code, if any, and we're going to make that just a text box. Text box, there we go. And then we're going to save that. So now we've added a tracking code, and now every line item is going to have a tracking code associated with it. So when I click on a line item, we get a tracking code, and then another tracking code, and so on. So we've got a tracking code per line item. So that's a line item custom field that we've added. Again, that's going to show up in all of your reports going forward when you're doing reports by line item, and therefore you're going to be able to drill down on those things as well.